Here is the crowd.
Hello.
Okay, no. What? Thank you for joining me today for going over food waste. Food waste is a growing issue in America today, taking resources and damaging the environment and the ozone layer. 350 million pounds of food every day are wasted by Americans. And that adds up to 52 billion pounds per year. I have gathered information from different articles online from the CBS News, Move for Hunger and Value Penguin. I was initially captured by this topic because I work in a preschool and I see firsthand how much we waste food because our students, the food that we give them, they either don't like or the amount that we give them, they don't finish. So we end up wasting a lot of food just on snacks. And we don't even provide lunches for our students. So I would imagine that if we did, we would waste a ton more. And I am a huge advocate for not wasting food, so I just wanted to be here and teach more people about ways that we can reduce food waste in America. I am first going to talk about the statistics in America and the food that we waste. Then I'm going to go over the different environment effects and how we can help in reducing food waste. Food waste is a growing issue in the United States and the world today. Yet most people don't know why it is such a problem and what it does to the environment. Since the year 1974, the amount of food that humans waste every year has gone up 50%. More than 365 million pounds of food is wasted every day just in the United States alone. That is almost an entire football field worth of food waste. There are many different contributing factors in why food waste has become an issue. One reason is because refrigerators have actually gotten bigger over the years. Americans now feel that they need to buy more food so that they can fill their refrigerators, so it doesn't actually seem that they don't have food when they actually probably do. It just doesn't seem like they have a lot of food because their refrigerator is so big. Second is Americans waste food because we have such high standards of what foods should look like. If a food doesn't look right or appealing to our high standards, we often throw that food away. A third reason is expiration dates. Most Americans don't know how to read expiration dates. They normally don't look at the expiration date before they buy the food, and then once they buy it, then they look at it and realize that they are not going to eat that food in that time, so they end up throwing that wasted food away. Individual people are not the only ones to blame for how much America wastes on food. Grocery stores, restaurants, and manufacturers waste about 52 billion pounds of food each year. In other words, food is being wasted at a lot of different levels, starting from farms to distributions to grocery stores and to grocery stores and just individual homes. Now that I have talked about the food waste and how we are wasting food, now let's look at what it does to the environment. When we think about food waste, we don't normally think about the other sources that we might be using in order to maintain those, growing those foods and manufacturing those foods. Most of the unwanted foods that we throw away end up in landfills. When food decomposes under the ground without oxygen, it produces methane gas, which is actually 20 times more harmful than carbon dioxide. Methane is one of the contributing factors to damaging the ozone layer, which actually causes warmer temperatures throughout the globe. Currently, landfills are not best resources for getting, currently landfills are our best resource for getting trash out of our yards and our communities and just out of plain sight. However, there are some issues that come with landfills. Along with using landfills, for example, they pollute our groundwater. When it rains or it snows around the landfill, this can create dangerous chemicals such as ammonia to travel into the groundwater, and once the ammonia and dangerous chemicals get into that groundwater, it can also it can also pollute our groundwater and our drinking water that we get from groundwater, and our land water, lakes, and rivers, killing the organisms that live within those lakes and rivers. Living near landfills can affect one's health due to the air pollution that it also creates and the pollution in their water supply. Gases that are produced by landfills are able to find their way into nearby homes and buildings. This has been linked to respiratory diseases and certain types of cancers. Food waste can cause some environmental issues, but what can we do to help reduce food waste? One way that America can help reduce food waste is to create a different system for labeling when we are supposed to throw away our food. Instead of using things such as used by or best before labels, we should be using terms such as best if used by or freeze by or dispose by. Using these labels can help consumers and Americans understand the labeling system and how they need to act on it. Another way Americans can help reduce food waste is to allow the federal to provide different tax benefits to businesses that regularly donate food, adding up to $750 million annual federal tax deductions will gain up to 380,000 tons of additional food donations. For businesses, it can be hard to figure out how to organize on how they can donate food to different resources. Providing a tax benefit for different businesses that regularly donate will help businesses want to donate more because it actually is benefiting them in the long run. Teaching individuals how to eat and buy smarter can help reduce food waste in America as well. Teaching them what labeling dates mean and how to look at the label before they buy, and teaching them to not shop when they are hungry, because normally if you shop when you're hungry, you are more likely to buy more food than you are actually going to eat. Buying in bulk is amazing until you actually get all the food, and then weeks later you're looking at the expiration date and you realize that all this food has actually expired, so now you have to throw it out. What we need to be teaching our consumers is to actually go to the store more often. It is a pain, however, it does reduce a lot of food waste, because when you go to the store more often, you are wasting less food, and you are actually buying what you need and not what you just want. Planning out weekly meals before you go to the store can also help in reducing food waste. Reducing food waste can benefit consumers, businesses, the environment, and the ozone layer. Since the year 1974, the amount of food that humans waste every year has gone up by 50%. Because Americans don't know how to shop smart, and Americans have high expectations of what food should look like. Landfills are getting higher, causing harmful gases to pollute the air and our water supply. Our water supply that also provides water, drinking water, lakes and rivers, and also pollute the gases that also pollute these water supplies, also kills living organisms that live within these water supplies. We can help reduce food waste by providing tax benefits to businesses that donate regularly, creating a new system for labeling, and teaching individuals how to eat and shop smarter. If we have learned anything from the past, it is that we need to stick together if we expect anything to change. This includes sticking together to help reduce the amount of food waste that is caused by Americans year-round. Now that we have learned about food waste and how it affects our environment and what we can do to reduce food waste. Do you guys have any questions for me?
How would you educate consumers?
If it were me, I would educate them in high school as one of those classes that kind of prepare you for the future, and one of those like budgeting classes. I would have them add that in as part of their budgeting, because it also, I think it, like, knowing how to buy food goes with along with budgeting, because you have to budget a certain amount for your food, so you know you're shopping smarter and you're teaching them how to shop smarter, buying food that they actually need and how that can actually save them money and how that works in their budget. Any other questions?
Do you think the price of food makes a difference on how much is wasted?
I think that the price of food does affect the amount that is wasted, because food rates have actually gone down in at least the produce section, and I know that when they go down, then you feel like you need to buy a lot, because when are they ever going to be this price again? When next month they probably will be that price again. So you end up buying a lot, but produce actually expires faster than just buying like something from a can. So I think that in produce it actually creates more food waste if we keep dropping sales in the produce section. Any other questions?
Do you think that people like the younger generation should be taught that expiration dates apply after it's opened?
Yes, because I think that would be part of teaching them how to read labels, because that is all within reading your label, and I don't think most people, everyone does it differently, you know. When you buy a jar of peanut butter, some people, you know, after you open it, they put it in the refrigerator, and some people just put it in their pantry. And I think that's all the way that they grow up. So teaching them how that expiration dates, you know, after you open it, where should you put it, your pantry or your refrigerator, and how that makes that product last longer if you put it in your refrigerator rather your pantry, or the other way around. Any other questions? Well, thanks for coming and hearing my speech about food waste and how we can help reduce it.